pundit from The Onion, Jack and Jill Politics, and pop-sized future of Baratunde Thurston.
More applause for them, please. Lots of applause, more energy for this. When I say Web 2, you say 0.0. Web 2. 0.0. Web 2. 0.0. If you're on this side, just clap as loud as you can. I just want to see how loud you can get. How loud can you get? If you're on this side, let's see how loud can you get. How loud can you get? We are going to have a good time today. The title of my talk is There's a Hashtag for That. If there are ugly, nasty, offensive tweets about me going on behind me that I can't see, I will find you. With my hashtag army, we will hunt you down and we will destroy you. First rule, the official hashtag for my talk is hashtag. If you want to tweet about it, I have a suggested tweet so you can send that across to all your followers. Please do that now. An introduction to me, for those who don't know me. My full name is Baratunde Thurston. It's a very long name, it has a lot of meaning in it. Now, Baratunde is an old Nigerian name. It actually means one with no nickname. Rafiq is different. Rafiq's an old Arabic name. That means really no nickname. And Thurston is actually an old British name, which means property of Master Thurston. A little slow. I can see some of y'all weren't expecting that last one. It's all right. Neither were we. So, people are always talking about how artists should monetize, should productize, should merchandise, and I tried that with that last joke. I came up with what I thought was a brilliant piece of athletic wear under the hashtag things that do not sell. I had a property of Master Thurston t-shirt. No one bought it. Made me feel very, very awkward. A quick background on who I am and some of what I'm about before we get into the details of the topic. I do stand-up comedy. I'm a comedian, so that's one of my own tags. I am the co-founder of a black political blog called Jack and Jill Politics. Yes, that is a watermelon. Yes, I am a racist. I am the TV host of a show about the future on the Science Channel, and more importantly, my insurance comes from The Onion, where I'm the web editor. So why hashtags? I've been riding this wave for a little while, and I thought, well, these seem to me to be mini grassroots movements. They're quickly assembled and demolished. They're malleable, they're fun, and they're just great ways to mess with people. So I'm going to take you on a quick case study journey of hashtags that I have observed or been a part of or tried to blow up in some way, because I think they have to do with this theme of less is more. We're going to start at the deep end of the pool with the swine flu. Last April, when this disease hit the news much more than it hit the world, I saw an opportunity to become the swine flu on Twitter. To frighten people, to make fun of people, to discomfort them, if you will. And you have to start with this, it became a guide to social media, right? Branding your profile. What was the character's name, the swine flu? What was the location? Fucking everywhere. Everywhere. Bio, bird flu ain't got shit on me, and cute pictures of angry pink pigs. Very important. Next step, be provocative. Very fun statement. Out of this pig's mouth, I'm going to seriously fuck people up seriously. But then I remembered, hashtag, because I had no followers, bump into the legitimate swine flu conversation, so that was the second tweet from this account. The conversation, I want you to focus on the upper right corner. This is before Twitter started killing retweets, right? CDC posts some news, swine flu retweets it, adds the swine flu hashtag again to be a part of the conversation. We continue to move on, and you get to this very important stage, which I call follow your target market. Now, the top tweet here is a real person who was afraid of the swine flu. He cited statistics. So what I did is I followed that person, which means he got an email saying you're now being followed by the swine flu. Very important. Hashtag swine flu. Now stay positive. You know, people want to know what's happening, want positive reinforcement, so you reward people again, showing the world that you care. You're a legitimate, authentic member of the community, and positivity is part of that. Collaboration was also a big lesson I learned in this experiment. The upper left, Kim Kardashian. I don't think there's anything I can do to you that you haven't already done to yourself. Any tips? Hashtag swine flu, right? You don't know everything. You gotta work with others. Sharing your achievements is also very important. So when the swine flu was covered in the Onion, the account tweeted that out. When it was upgraded to phase 5, the account tweeted that out. When Kermit ended up dead in a ditch, took credit for that, tweeted that out to Twitter. And this was a key kind of jumping off point for me to discover that, okay, Twitter's great, hashtags are cool, but once you get enough momentum, you can jump to other platforms. And Facebook was the really, really interesting leap, because Facebook has other infrastructure. You can host events. For example, a face licking party. Where you encourage people to lick pigs and other people, put that hashtag out there. People started documenting this. They RSVP'd to the event. They suggested people that whose faces you should lick. For example, Mormons. I thought that was a very insightful observation. Due to large family size and a propensity to travel, right? These are things that will help spread my message of death and destruction. And then giving back, you offer advice to people. Try to be as helpful as possible. It's not all about taking, it's about giving as well. Sometimes you want to ask the crowd for help. So I'm in the Netherlands, the swine flu will show up in the country, I'd ask, what should I see here? Like, what should I do? Because you don't know everything. You don't know everything. Location was very important as well as a part of this. And again, playing this hashtag game, the central one is the one to focus on. I'm in Hong Kong right now and check out the giant Buddha statue and meditate on suffering. And so anyone tracking a conversation about Buddhism also had a nice surprise waiting for them in their Twitter search results. Things got a bit despondent for a while for the account, mutating, where's my swagger? Very challenging time. And then really surprisingly to me, someone said about bird flu accounts and start talking shit to my swine flu. So it was like a real war going on here. Diseases. We should be together. We're family. We really think about how the virus works. It's like fratricide or something. I don't know. Got legitimate press interview on the Huffington Post with the character. I was not me. I was a swine flu. No one knew who was behind it at the time. And then the sign off, because the coverage started getting really negative. No one was dying. It was really awkward. So this was the leaving tweet, which is, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. So what's the recap on this? 2 weeks, 2,000 followers, hundreds of RSVPs, voicemails, pseudo-print interview, all starting to join the stream of conversation around the swine flu. What's the point? It's just fun, and you can probably learn something from that. Next step, I want to change gears completely. How black are you? So I'm a black person. I like other black people. Like I said, I'm a racist, and I have a lot of time on my hands. And one summer, I posted this. This weekend, I picked my red wine because it was called Negro Amaro. And I posted at 7:32 a.m. and tweeted my friend Elon James, who was a fellow black person. He's a comedian, lives in Brooklyn, uses the word son a lot, loves brunch. 7:32 a.m. 2 minutes later, he responds, challenge son? I told you, he uses the word son a lot. And 2 minutes after that, he posts, I often answer questions of great importance with Biggie Smalls quotes. How black are you? Right? So then we're going back and forth. Despite the possession of an Ivy League degree, I often ask people questions. And Ebonics, how black are you? And then he comes back at me. Not only do I know why the cage bird sings, I also feed and clean the cage, and I name the bird Taniqua. How black are you? Baratunde. Or it's like Shalom, it's like that Cosby Show episode. And here we had an observer. 17 minutes into the experiment, comedian Paul Day in Boston says, this could be a great new hashtag meme. We seeded this from the beginning. We keep going back and forth. I spontaneously break out into Kosi Sikelele and demand Mandela be freed. Elon comes back. I see the subtle racial implications of Thundercats. Panthers black, shirtless, and Lion-O's driver. And then finally, in the early 90s, I consider people who watch The Simpsons instead of The Cosby Show race traders. How black are you? Now the recap on this is interesting. Within 12 hours, there were over 850 tweets from scores of people. After that last tweet, other people noticed and they just joined in because it was free, because it was open, there was no fee to enter. Within 48 hours, had over 2,100 tweets from hundreds of people. And if you start tracking this, you'll still see occasionally flare-ups of how black are you. Today's trending topic is actually black thoughts on Twitter, which is very related to this how black are you theme that we experimented with over the summer. Okay, next. This is more conceptual. World's thinnest books. I didn't start this, but I observed and like Double Dutch, decided to jump in. First example comes from Daily Show creator Liz Wednesday. Neocon Alternatives to War. World's thinnest books. Thoughtful, very deep. Things that I've done that are not awesome, like Chuck Norris. Thinnest books, Dingwing, I give credit for that one. People who talk shit on Twitter and would say the same nonsense to your face. World's thinnest books. Another one from Elon, he's one of my favorites to play with in this way. A list of people who I inspire that aren't racist by Rush Limbaugh. World's thinnest books. All the reasons why BET is good for the black community by Deborah Lee. World's thinnest books. Focus by Shaquille O'Neal. Humility by Steve Jobs. Why the government should be involved in marriage. All very, very thin books. And so the recap on that was a little, oh, and finally someone hit me. I didn't expect this. I keep a low profile by Baratunde Thurston. Very thin book indeed. I like the sound of my own tweets. So the recap on this was a very different one. It was a little bit more